And good evening. Welcome out here to Missouri Western University Spratt Memorial Stadium, home of the 17th annual Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. Again, I'm Jared Rolfus, joined along with color analyst and cameraman for the evening, and Brent Williams. And welcome to a warm sunny night here in St. Joseph for Missouri 8-Man football. For a lot of these players, it will be the final time they strap on a helmet and put on a football uniform, and it will be the last time, surely, that all of them will play 8-man football. We welcome you all in here to Albany TV and Missouri Western State University for this football game tonight. Again, this is a night to showcase all of the amazing athletes around 8-man football, and also thank all of you that have helped support these players and this sport. A big thank you to the corporate sponsor for this year, Eye Candy Graphics, Arts, and Industrial Placards, as they furnish all of the uniforms here for the Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association. And another big thank you to Mosaic Life Care, proud supporters of 8-Man football. They supply the trainers for all of the All-Star festivities. We'll be getting set here for the national anthem here in just a moment, followed by announcement of all of the athletes that will be participating tonight. Just kind of give you an idea for what happens this week. The All-Star Weekend schedule started on Thursday with check-in at 3 o'clock. They ended up having going to the St. Joseph Mustangs game Thursday night to kind of get a little bit of a team builder. And then Friday they had a lot of football. 3 practices on Friday for these teams and for these players that probably haven't done much since the graduation weekend. And then today started with brunch, had walkthroughs this morning, took a break, cleaned rooms, had a pregame meal, and then got set for the game preparations. We'll be back after the national anthem here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium. And welcome back out to Spratt Memorial Stadium here in St. Joseph. We will get set for the announcement of the players participating here in today's ball game here in just a moment. But again, thank you to all of our sponsors. We'll be running their ads through for the listing of the sponsors here tonight to help bring you tonight's 8-Man All-Star Game. Our touchdown sponsors, field goal sponsors, safety sponsors, and extra point sponsors. Our touchdown sponsors gave at least $200. Field goal sponsors at least $150. Safety sponsors gave at least $100, and extra point sponsors gave at least $50. If you would like to be a sponsor of the Football Coaches Association, see one of the football officers or try and get a hold of them. The officers for this year, President Shane Hilton of Stanberry, Vice President Doug Fountain of Albany, Drew Smith, Treasurer from Archie, and Secretary is Cody Carney of Paris. So again, that is how you are able to get in touch and be one of the fine sponsors here of this Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association game, and also just Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association. Let's go ahead and welcome in our color analyst and cameraman for the evening, Brett Williams, as we await the announcement of the players here tonight. Brett, we've watched a lot of football this season. We called all of Albany's games all the way through the district championship, all the way from prior to the first week of the season at Worth County for their jamboree, ended it here at Missouri Western for the state championship game between two really good teams, North Shelby and Archie, with that comeback.
Yeah, it was a great season of football, and the players on the field today were a large part of making it such a fun season, ultimately culminating in that win for Archie in that 48-20 victory over North Shelby in what was a crazy state championship game, and super happy to be a part of it, be able to broadcast that. But like you said at the beginning, this is a great opportunity for the players on the field tonight to be able to suit up one last time. Of course, some of the seniors in the area and the state opted out, but a lot of them opted in as well to be able to enjoy this experience one last time, and it's going to be fun to see them out on the field in a competitive setting one last time on a football field. And, of course, Spratt Stadium's become kind of the home for this event each and every year, and it's just a great event all around.
Let's go ahead and start with our roster for the blue team. At number 2, wide receiver linebacker, 6 foot, 285 pounds from Bishop LeBlond is Trey Ike. Also at number 2 for the blue team, tight end defensive end, 6'2", 180 pounds from Platte Valley is Justin Miller. Also on the blue team, number 3, the wide receiver and defensive back, 5'9", 140 pounds from Albany, Kyle Emerson. And number 10, the running back and linebacker, 6 foot, 160 pounds from Mound City is Kane Durr. Number 11, wide receiver defensive back, 5'9", 151 pounds from Platte Valley is Xavier Middleton. And then number 12, the wide receiver and defensive back, 6'1", 175 pounds from East Atchison is Owen DeRozier. Followed by the number 13, wide receiver and defensive end, 6'2", 173 pound Ryan Langston of Plattsburgh. And number 14, the wide receiver and defensive back at 6 foot 170 pounds from King City is Darwin Bowden. And number 17, the quarterback and defensive back for the blue team at 6 foot 180 pounds from Rockport is Corbin Jacob. And number 18, the tight end and defensive end, 6 foot 275 pounds, Zane Rippey of Albany. At number 21, the tight end and defensive end, 6 foot 185 pounds from North Andrew, Avery Miller. And at number 22, it's the running back and linebacker, 5'7", 150 pounds from Princeton, Tyler Kaufman. Also number 22, from Wellington Napoleon, wide receiver defensive back, 5'8", 180 pounds, Joe Heater. And number 23, the guard and defensive lineman, 6 foot 195 pounds from Bishop LeBlond, Jackson Cruz. Number 39, running back defensive end, 6'2", 185 pound, Dante Bingham from Plattsburgh. Number 40 from Jasper, the guard defensive lineman, 5'8", 175 pounds is Luke Beard. Also number 40, running back defensive end linebacker, 5'11", 225 pounds from Nottoway Valley, Preston Jenkins. Number 50, running back, defensive end, 5'11", 185 pounds from Concordia, Landon Lenker. Number 64, the guard, defensive lineman, linebacker, 6'3", 317 pounds from Schuyler County, Asen Akers. Number 69, center, defensive lineman, 5'9", 220 pounds from the state champion, Archie Colton Graboli. Number 71, the center defensive lineman, 6 foot 220 pounds from Orick, Tucker Greer. And number 87, the guard and defensive lineman, 6'2", 230 pound, Platte Valley, Landon Wiederholt. The coaching staff for the blue team is the reigning state champion coach, Drew Smith from Archie. Assistant coaches, Chad Stroud of Archie, Chuck Davis of Bishop LeBlond, and Dalton Jones of Rockport. And now for the red team roster. Number 1 from Osceola, wide receiver defensive back, 6 foot 185 pounds, Colton Garver. Number 1 from Slater, wide receiver defensive back, 6'2", 165 pounds, Brandon Terrell Jr. Number 2, tight end linebacker, 5'10", 205 pounds, Schuyler County, Isaiah Kohlers. Number 4, wide receiver defensive back, 6 foot 175 pounds from Plattsburgh, Gavin Boyle. Also number 4, from Slater, wide receiver defensive back, 5'10", 140 pounds, Jalen Knox. Number 7, quarterback and linebacker, 5'7", 155 pounds, Luke Miller of DeKalb. Number 8, the tight end defensive end, 6'3", 200-pound, Jake Winkelbauer of Bishop LeBlond. Also number 8, the tight end and defensive end, 6'4", 200-pound, Gannon Moore of Slater. And number 11, the center linebacker, 5'9", 190 pounds, from Albany, Andrew Wiles. And number 12, quarterback and linebacker, 6', 160 pounds, also from Albany, Chase Klein. Number 15, from Greenfield, quarterback, defensive back, 5'11", 170 pounds, Austin Pickett. Number 31, the running back and defensive back, 5'10", 170 pounds, is Jeff Rohde. Number 45, the guard linebacker, 5'11", 210 pounds, from St. Joseph Christian, is Peyton Hausman. And number 50, guard defensive end, 6'8", 195 pounds, is Zachary Boyd from Greenfield. Number 52, from Liberal, the guard defensive lineman, 6'4", 280 pounds, Cole Wiles. 56, from Knox County, center linebacker, 5'11", 215 pounds, Terry Ogden. And 64, from Albany, guard defensive lineman, 6 foot, 280 pounds, Seth Miller. Number 66, the center defensive lineman, 5'8", 225 pounds, from Santa Fe, is Trevor Case. And number 68, the guard defensive lineman, 6 foot, 190 pounds, from Wellington Napoleon, is Jared Raymond. Number 73, from North Shelby, the guard defensive end, 6'3", 250-pound, Orrin Van Skyke. And the last player for the red team, number 77, the guard defensive lineman, 6'4", 295 pounds, Kavian Aborn from King City. The head coaches from the red team are David Stuckey from North Shelby, John Dabney from Truman State, Jordan Tyler from Concordia, and Alec Frickering from Concordia. So again, those are your all-star rosters and coaches for the 17th annual Missouri 8-Man All-Star Football Coaches Association. We'll get set here for the coin toss, and we'll be back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium at Missouri Western State University. And it looks like the coin toss was won here by the red team. They will defer to the second half, so the blue team will receive the opening kickoff. And the red team will kick off, and they will kick off from left to right on your screen. And the blue team will move from right to left. Again, the 10-yard line and to the end zone will be the end zone today. Again, playing on a 100-yard field, and just past the numbers on the opposite side of the field will be out of bounds. is how they kind of create the field to set up. For the blue team, the captains were Trey Ike of Bishop LeBlanc, Corbin Jacob of Rockport, Avery Miller of North Andrew, and Colton Grabolby of Archie. For the red team, it was Isaiah Kohlers of Schuyler County, Jake Winkelbauer from Bishop LeBlanc, Chase Klein from Albany, and Orrin Van Skyke from North Shelby. With the blue team receiving first, Brett, you know what that means. There's going to be one of the most dangerous players in 8-man football receiving to start the game.
Yeah, of course, it's going to be Kyle Emerson, and we got to see him a lot this season and in seasons prior being one of.
Oh, I take that back. No kickoff.
Well, taking away an advantage. If I was a blue coach, I think I might want to fight a little harder for some kickoff returns, because Kyle Emerson really that was where he was just as dangerous receiving passes as he was in special teams as well. But looks like there's not going to be special teams here in this one. Probably not any punts either.
You might see a couple punts.
Maybe a punt, but no kickoffs, it looks like. But here we go. Blue team starting off things here.
Corbin Jacob at quarterback will take the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll look deep, and he's looking, finds his man. It's Kyle Emerson, and there's the touchdown we were thinking would happen on the kickoff. Instead, it happens on the first play of the game. Corbin Jacob of Rockport to Albany's Kyle Emerson, and the blue team has a quick lead just 11 seconds into the ball game.
Well, that's something the red team is going to have to deal with all game, because Kyle Emerson has got unmatched speed pretty much in the entire state. It's why he's signed on to
first
run.
Place 100-meter, first place, and state record in 200-meter this year.
Yeah, and of course he signed on to play to run track at Northwest Missouri State. So that speed is we're gonna get to see more of that speed here in the next couple of years. But we saw it in 11 seconds into the game, and the red team's going to have to put that to a stop real quick if they want to have a chance to win this one.
It looks like Tucker Greer will do the snapping here for the blue team, as Jacob again will take the snap. He'll roll out to the right, looking back across, and it goes off the hands, incomplete. Looking for the running back from Plattsburgh, Dante Bingham. Pass will fall incomplete. So it is a quick lead here for the blue team, 6-0. And after that, it is going to be a 6-0 lead. We'll be back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out to Spratt Memorial Stadium. And looks like taking the opening snap here is going to be Chase Klein from Albany. He's going to flip this one back, and it was a pass that is going to be incomplete to Brandon Terrell from Slater, throwing the pass. That time out of the backfield off the little reverse that time was Jalen Knox from Slater.
Well,
a little bit of trickery to start.
I was going to say a big shot there right out of the first play of the drive for the red team. They were trying to match that shot that the blue team took, and they had an open man down the field, but nice job by the blue team. They got a hit as the pass was thrown, and that ball just kind of hung up in the air and not able to make the catch. 2nd and 10 for the red team.
Miller, Wiles, Van Skyke on the offensive line here to start. Wiles will do the snapping from Albany. Klein fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left. He's going to be wrapped up and taken down after a short yard pickup. Penalty flag flies in. Tackle made, that time by Kane Durr of Mound City. So after the penalty, we'll see what the call is. I believe it was a face mask. So that will give the red team a first down.
Yeah, it's a big personal foul to commit if you're the blue team. It looked like they had Chase Klein tackled down, and it was going to be 3rd down and about 8 or so. Instead, it's a first down and a big gain for the red team.
They'll put it down at the 33-yard line. Ends up being a first down for the red team. So 2 receivers out to the right are going to be Terrell Jr. along with Gavin Boyle. Klein fakes the handoff. Again, will roll out to his left. He'll be thrown down right around the line of scrimmage there on the stop is Justin Miller from Platte Valley.
Second time in a row they've handed the ball off to Klein, and they've had Klein keep the ball, rather, but neither one of them really broke open for a solid gain. And it'll be interesting to see just how Klein does here as a quarterback. All new weapons. Of course, Kyle Emerson has been his most trusted weapon. He's on the other team in this one, and that's one of the things that make this game interesting is you got teammates who are now on opposing teams, and it's really interesting if you got a quarterback and his receivers on the other team. It's just an interesting thing.
Boyd wide out left, wide out to the right. Here is going to be Gavin Boyle throwing it deep, looking, and it's going to be intercepted here by the blue team. And on the interception is Owen DeRozier from East Atchison. A penalty flag at around midfield is DeRozier down inside the 30-yard line of the red team. Pass intended that time for Zachary Boyd. So we'll see what the penalty is. It came just past midfield, about the 48-yard line. It's going to be a block in the back against the blue team. It's going to push him back a little bit. But Owen DeRozier comes up with the interception.
Yeah, that'll wipe out some of those return yards that DeRozier racked up. And it's interesting, on intended receiver, Zachary Boyd, he's listed in the program as a guard, but his height is 6'8". So it looks like the red team kind of wants to get some plays drawn up for him where he can just kind of go up and get it. But that lack of experience at wide receiver kind of showed there. Not the most accurate.
He did also play some running back this year as well for Greenfield. So not completely unaccustomed to catching the ball, but again, it was the interception. And now, big sack by the red team as Jacob taken down deep in his own zone, back at about his own 15. And there on the stop for the red team was, I believe, Gannon Moore from Slater.
Yeah, it was a bad snap there that allowed the red team to just kind of instantly swallow up that play before it was going to go anywhere, and that's not how you want to start a drive. You just get behind the chains, behind the 8-ball, and you're constantly, every play, just trying to get back to where you started from, and that's what Blue's going to have to do here on second down.
It's going to put them back at their own 18-yard line. Be a 2nd and 24. So again, two receivers out wide to the right. It's going to be a quick pass out to, I believe it was Trey Ike there on the top. As Emerson tried to make the block, but picking up just a few yards. Brings him out to the 23-yard line. A gain of 5 on the quick pass.
Well, they go with a short, quick pass to try and get Ike in some space. Not a whole lot doing there in terms of yards after the catch. And now on 3rd and 18, they're going to have to really get a big play here. Probably going to take a shot deep down the field. Look out for Emerson like they did on the first drive.
Yeah, they're going to need to get to the red team 38-yard line, which would be essentially the 48-yard line here on this field. Jacob, a little flip pass, and breaking out of a couple of tackles. Here is Jeff Rohde from Orick as he's going to have enough for a first down. Sorry, I take that back. It was Dante Bingham from Plattsburgh that was able to take it down inside the 35-yard line down to the 34.
Well, that's what makes it interesting as a coach. Everybody kind of knows that you got this big play threat in Kyle Emerson. If you need a big play, he can come through. But the defense also knows that. So sometimes it can be beneficial to go try and do something that they don't expect. And I think that's what the blue team just pulled off right there, and they moved the chains.
So 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Emerson this time in motion. Trying to flip it to him. It's going to be a fumble, and it is recovered here by the red team. It's Cole Wiles from Liberal.
Forward pass.
Forward pass, okay. Wiles in the defense thinks that they've got the fumble. They do not.
Yeah, it was a motion by Kyle Emerson in front of the quarterback, and that's an important distinction there. It was a shovel pass, and since the pass went forward, it's an incomplete pass, not a fumble.
And you'll see quite a bit of that tonight with the quarterbacks and receivers not quite being familiar with each other. Also on the offensive line is going to be Wiederholt. And it looks like it's also Asen Akers. That's on the offensive line along with Tucker Greer. That is snapping. False start against the blue team will push him back 5 yards.
Well, several mistakes here by the blue team on this drive. They had, of course, the bad snap that pushed them back. They were able to get a first down there, but Emerson couldn't haul in the shovel pass, and now a false start. Not the cleanest of drives here from the blue team.
So from the 29-yard line here, a handoff to Bingham, and he is going to be tackled right at about that line of scrimmage, back at the 31-yard line. Or it'd actually be a loss of 2 there on the play to the 31.
They're going to need to come up with a big play again here on third down, third and around 15.
It'll be Emerson and Ike out wide to the right, Bingham behind his quarterback, Jacob. Also going out, Darwin Bowden from King City, and Jacob is going to be wrapped up and sacked at midfield. As Isaiah Kohlers comes up with the sack this time for the red team. Isaiah Kohlers from Schuyler County.
Well, they were far enough down the field that they were probably in 4-down territory now with that sack. Probably not going to try and go for it here on 4th down. We'll see what they decide to do, though.
It's an all-star game. Nobody comes to see the punters.
I was going to say it is an all-star game, though. So
unless you're an all-star punter.
So
then you come to see the punter.
So you never know what they're going to try in an all-star game, but it does look like they're sending somebody back deep.
Red team is going to send Cole Wiles from Liberal, the defensive lineman, 6'4", 280 back. And punting it here is Trey Ike from Bishop LeBlond. And it bounces out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. And that is where the red team will take over for their second drive here as the blue team leads 6-0, 6:08 left here in this opening quarter.
Well, red team comes out for their second drive. They were putting together something, methodically moving down the field last drive, and they took a shot deep down the field, and Chase Klein couldn't hook up with Zachary Boyd deep down the field, and there was an interception.
And it looks like it'll be Peyton Houseman in the backfield here with Klein, as
I think we got it.
Looks like we're going to have a water break timeout with 6:06 left. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. Six to nothing, blue team with the lead. 6:06 left here in this opening quarter as the red team will take over on their own 16-yard line, or 17-yard line here as they will start their second drive here of the night. Chase Klein will take the snap with Peyton Houseman in the backfield. He'll take the handoff from St. Joseph Christian, the Lion, here in his hometown. Takes it out to the 20-yard line, a gain of 3 there on the carry. That time from Houseman.
We had to see Houseman when the Lions played Albany. I think it was week 3 that Albany made the trip down here to St. Joe, and Houseman really put on a show in that one. Albany came
While
out
being injured, remember, he kept coming out of the game with it was hot, so there were some cramping issues, but continued to fight it. And he again continued to fight for yards as he picked up 3 yards on that play to make it a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Albany came out with the win, but Houseman is a big bruising type back. He's a guy that even when you bring down, it seems like the tacklers were the ones that were in rough shape after they brought him down, more so than him.
The official has called timeout for a moment. I don't know don't know exactly what the problem was. But now Klein back in the shotgun will take the snap from his center, Andrew Wiles, both from Albany. Klein on the quick pass. Brandon Terrell Jr. He'll take it across the 30, and he'll be tackled down to what looks to be about the 32-yard line. There on the tackle looked to be Jackson Cruz from Bishop LeBlond.
Yeah, it's another really cool thing about this game. You get to see kind of matchups and teammates coming together that you wouldn't normally see. Chase Klein and Brandon Terrell Jr. from Slater, really interesting a pair. Terrell, good size as a wide receiver, 6'2", 165, and that's going to be interesting to see how that relationship plays out on the field here in this game.
Having a little bit of trouble with their setup, and the red team are going to call a quick timeout. And we'll be back as well after this quick timeout here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium here at Missouri Western State University. We're thanking all of our touchdown as well as field goal, safety, and extra point sponsors in between breaks, but also like to make a big thank you to Eye Candy Graphics and Industrial Placards, the 2025 corporate sponsor of the Missouri 8-man All-Star Football Game, and Mosaic Life Care supplying trainers for all the All-Star festivities. So it looks like it's going to be an empty backfield here for Klein. 2 receivers to the right, a wing back to the left. Klein drops back, looks, doesn't find anybody, has some room, and he's going to be tackled just short of midfield as he's wrapped up and taken down. There on the stop are Cruz, and also on the stop is Kane Durr, but a penalty flag flies late as Klein kind of thrown to the ground after he crosses the out-of-bounds line. I believe it's going to call a late hit.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Nice effort there, but Klein was well out of bounds, and nothing wrong with forcing the runner out of bounds, but it's whenever they're out of bounds and then you still complete the tackle where it's going to draw a flag. And nice run by Klein, and now the red team will get some added yards to that after the personal foul.
And they're going to spot this now at the 25-yard line of the blue team. So it'll be a 1st and 10.
I think that's 2 or 3 personal fouls now on the blue team. That's really helped out the red team.
And it's going to be a flip out to Houseman. And he's going to get across out of one tackle. He gets across the first down yard marker, and he's going to pick up a couple more as it looked like Preston Jenkins was the one that finally tripped him up down to, it looks to be about the 11-yard line, a gain of 14 on the carry, that time from Houseman.
Got to see that ability from Houseman that we were talking about earlier, just that hard-nosed running ability. He's really hard to bring down. He broke through one tackle and then fought for extra yards, and it took two guys to bring him down. And the blue team's going to have to get bodies on him every time he has the ball. It's going to take a multiple guy effort to bring him down.
3:43 left here in the opening quarter. Blue team leading 6-0. Red team driving just shy of the red zone. And Chase Klein escapes a tackle, tripped up across the 5-yard line as he's down to the 4. I think the final person that finally got him down was Ryan Langton of Plattsburgh.
Yeah, Klein really showcased his ability throughout this season to run the ball. He's quick enough, and he can also break tackles, fight for those extra yards, and he was a great quarterback this season for Albany and was a large contributor to their success in their playoff run.
So a second and goal here from about the 4-yard line. It should actually be a 2nd and 3 here from the 4-yard line, as they don't quite need a touchdown, but Klein goes down in the backfield trying to run the option. There on the stop was Zachary Boyd from Greenfield.
Yeah, I think Klein got tripped up with Houseman there. Houseman was pretty upset with himself, kind of slapped his helmet, and then you could kind of see him talking with Klein, probably saying, hey, my bad on that one. And now it's backed up the red team a little bit more here on 3rd down.
Sorry, that tackle was actually made by Landon Lenker from Concordia. Sorry, he's still trying to get used to the red and blue team rosters, who's on who. So that was Lanker from Concordia there on the stop, not Boyd. As Klein will take the snap here on 3rd down, and he's going to get wrapped up at the 50-yard line. Again, it's going to be Lanker. Also in on the stop was Colton Grabolby from Archie. And so he'll be down at the 5-yard line, picks up 2, brings up a 4th and 4 again. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but there's not much room. Be about a half a yard. But the red team will go for it here with 1:40 left here in the opening quarter, trailing 6-0. 2 receivers out wide to the right. Heavy protection to the right as well for the red team. Klein going to keep it himself. Dives forward. Looks like he's right at about that first down yard marker, maybe just short on the spot. And he is going to be just short of the first down yard marker. Turnover on downs. So the blue team will take over on about their own 1.5-yard line. They were looking hard down the line to see whether it was a first down or not still, but they do call it a turnover on downs. Oh, I take that back. They are going to measure here.
I was going to say, I thought they were going to measure maybe, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
I still think he's going to be about a half a football short. But we'll wait and see. Try and zoom in here on the football. Ooh, it's close. They're going to give him a first down.
Wow, he got it just by maybe the nose of the football, maybe even less than that. But it was a nice dive there on the second attempt by Klein. That was all him. He stretched the ball out there and got it across, and he needed every bit of that extra stretch to get that first down.
So a first and goal now here for the red team as they'll come back out here on offense with 1:24 left here in the opening quarter. And that was a pretty good measurement. I thought they were going to be short, but they just by the nose of the football. First down, red team, and a chance to score. And Klein going to take it in, gets the touchdown, and the red team ties it up at 6-all.
Well, it's only fitting. Klein got the first down, give him a chance to try and finish out the drive by pushing it into the end zone. That's exactly what he does, ties it up, and now an opportunity here for the red team with this 2-point conversion to take the lead if they can get it.
6-6, 109 left here in the opening quarter. The red team will go for the 2-point conversion. We'll see if the red team can take the lead here. Terrell Jr. along with, I believe it's Jalen Knox. I take that back. It is actually Gavin Boyle. That'll be wide out to the left. Hausman, the wing back to the left. Klein drops back, has some pressure, gets us out. He's got some room, throws for the end zone, and knocked out of the hands of Zachary Boyd from Greenfield. They try to get it to the 6'8" tight end, and it falls incomplete. And the 2-point conversion will fail, and we will stay at 6-6 with 1:09 left here in the opening quarter. We'll be back with the blue team taking over here in just a moment on Albany TV. So the blue team will take over here at their own 15-yard line. Emerson, along with Middleton, now Middleton just alone to the right. Emerson, Ick, both out to the left. Jacob. They're going to have a delay of game penalty called here against the blue team. So that will bring them back 5 yards. There's going to be quite a bit of that tonight, too, with, not everybody quite being on the same page yet. Only a week to try and get plays down and figure out where they're supposed to be. So 2 receivers left, 1 receiver to the right. False start called here against the blue team. Make it a 1st and 20 from their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, the blue team's trying some sort of formation here, and it's just not hasn't worked out here yet for them. And like you said, not only is it an all-star game, so coaches are probably trying to get some fancy trick plays in there, but also they only have a couple of days to try and learn the playbook. So
Kaufman in at wingback. He'll move over to the right side. Ick and Emerson to the left. To the right is Middleton. Jacob looks, finds Trey Ick at the 20-yard line. He's going to be taken down there on the stop. Is Isaiah Kohlers along with, looks like Colton Garver.
50 seconds left on the game clock. Maybe just time for maybe 2 plays if they hurry up here. Now down to 40 as they huddle up.
35 seconds left as they get set. Now the blue team, again, 2 receivers to the left. Again, Middleton alone out to the right. Jacob going to keep this one himself. Trying to get to the outside. Gets out of a tackle and then tripped up at the 21-yard line there. Tripping him up was Jared Raymond from Wellington Napoleon.
Man, Jacob almost there was able to slip out of some tacklers and then cut that back up the field. And there was a lot of green grass in front of him, but not to be. Nice job by the red team to keep him wrapped up around the ankles as time will expire here in the first quarter.
And it's tied at 6 apiece here at the All-Star game here at Missouri Western State University. We're going to take a look at one of our Hall of Fame inductees during this quarter break. We'll be back with more in just a moment here from Missouri Western State University. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium. As again, you saw one of our Hall of Fame inductees, Coach Chris Healy from Worth County, will be inducted during halftime along with one other player, and also Chris Healy as a player as well. He's going to be inducted twice tonight. And Jacob looking to pass here on third down. He's got his man. It's Trey Ike, and he's finding some room and is going to be tackled down about the 32-yard line. There on the stop was Isaiah Kohlers from Schuyler County. Ike takes it down to the 32-yard line.
Thought for a minute we might have a little something out on the field as Ike and another player from the red team belt.
Kohlers.
Yeah, Kohlers had a little bit of words back and forth, but luckily nothing more than that.
Don't see each other too many times throughout the season as they are pretty far apart in geographical stances, Schuyler County and Bishop LeBlond. Two receivers to the left. Jacob hands this one off. And getting hit is Dante Bingham right about the line of scrimmage. I think the first man there for the red team was Cole Wiles from Liberal. And brings up a 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. You know, I asked, there are 2 Wiles on the red team, one from Albany, one from Liberal. No relation.
Funny how things work out.
Funny how things work out. 2 receivers again to the left. Here for Corbin Jacob from Rockport at quarterback for the blue team. Flips this one up, finds Preston Jenkins, somehow manages to bobble it and catch it and get the first down yard marker as he's hit by Austin Pickett from Greenfield.
That was a nice play by Jacob to always have his eyes ahead, always trying to look for ways to move the chains. As it was,
you know, that's a play usually Corbin Jacob would not like to make, a pass to an Ottaway Valley player, Preston Jenkins.
Yeah, and Jenkins was not quite ready for it himself as he just kind of bobbled it, but still able to look it in and make the catch and move the chains.
And again, the reasoning for that, both of them coming from the Highway 275 conference. Jacob will flip this one to Bingham, has some room on the outside, and he is going to be thrown out of bounds as he enters inside the 20-yard line. And it looked like the first man there for the red team was Jared Raymond from Wellington Napoleon.
It's so interesting. We've seen so many shovel passes this game, and that's a play like 10 years ago that you just never saw in football, and now it's just complete.
Thank you, Patrick Mahomes, who has their Chiefs training camp coming up here in the month of July.
I was going to say, maybe I'm biased as a Chiefs fan, but it was the Chiefs that really started to popularize that play. They even would do it sometimes under Alex Smith, and now you see everybody doing it.
Jacob just taking off and running to the outside, gets down inside the 10-yard line, tripped up, finally down at the 6. There in on the stop was Luke Miller from DeKalb, Colton Garver from Osceola, and Austin Pickett from Greenfield. And that one, just a designed run there by Jacob as he takes it down inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. Another first down for the red team, first and goal. For the blue team. First and goal from the 6. 9 minutes left to play here in this second quarter of play. 6-6 is the tie. Ick and Emerson out to the left, bunched up. Jacob going to keep this one himself. Gets out of one tackle, finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue All-Stars. Touchdown, Rockport's Corbin Jacob.
That was a nice run by Jacob. Looked like he was wrapped up there and maybe was going to be brought down short of the end zone, but able to shrug off that tackler. And then after that, it was just about a yard to the end zone. So a nice run there by the blue team quarterback, Corbin Jacob, to give the blue team the lead back since their first lead since that first play of the game where they hit Kyle Emerson.
11 seconds is all it took. One play, one pass, one touchdown. So 2-point conversion attempt here for the blue team to take their second lead of the night. Looking for the end zone, and Ick tries to go up, goes off his fingertips out of bounds, and good pass defense that time from Jalen Knox, a Slater, and the 2-point conversion will fail. We'll be back with more Missouri 8-Man Coaches Association Football All-Star Game when we come back in a moment here on Albany TV as we take a look at the Hall of Fame stats for Chris Healy as a player. Red team will take over, and it's a botch snap. Austin Pickett from Greenfield now in at quarterback, and it'll fall to the ground but recovered by the red team, a loss of 2 yards. And it brings up now a 2nd and 12.
Yeah, it's the first snap that Pickett's seen at quarterback, and of course, like we say it all the time, it's new teammates, not always on the same page, and we saw that there on the botched handoff from Pickett to Houseman.
It looks like Wiles, again, still in at center here for the Red All-Stars. Low snap, and throwing is Pickett, looking, doesn't find anybody, he's going to take off. He's definitely shifty as he finds himself past the 20-yard line down to the 24, just a yard shy of the first down yard marker. As that time, Austin Pickett from Greenfield had the juke stick working.
Yeah, you said it. It was a very shifty run right there, able to evade a couple of tacklers and make this third down very manageable, 3rd down and 1.
And it looks like the red team is going to go tight here with Houseman in the backfield, and his bruising running style. Look for him to get the ball. He does, trying to push it to the outside, now pushes it back in, and he's right at that first down yard marker. They're going to give him an extra yard as well. They're in on the stop that time for the Blue All-Stars was Jackson Cruz and Preston Jenkins. Be a gain of 2, brings up a 1st and 10.
Well, they gave it to Houseman there. They said, we just need a yard. Houseman, go get us one. And he got just enough to move the chains there.
I was kind of surprised they just didn't give him straight up the middle, but he kind of bounced it to the outside. 1st and 10, low snap again. Pickett looking deep. Penalty flag flies as Pickett is wrapped up in the backfield. And on the sack, that time is Justin Miller from Platte Valley, but we'll wait and see what the penalty flag is. It's going to be a hold against the red team. So we'll see. It is going to be declined as they're going to push it back to the 21-yard line anyways. And it'll be a 2nd and 15 here for the Red All-Stars.
Yeah,
we saw it a few times during the regular season for Albany. Andrew Wiles does have some low snaps for Pickett from Greenfield. Probably not used to that as much as opposed to Chase Klein, who has been in at quarterback for the first 2 drives for the red team. So Pickett having to get used to that as Pickett, again, has some room, is going to take off. Again, uses the juke stick and finds himself inside the 30, down to just about the 33-yard line.
Well, Austin Pickett's shown if he sees a gap open up, he will take it. And that's exactly what happened on that play. The line just completely opened up, and he was able to take advantage of that one there and make it, again, a 3rd down and manageable here for the red team, 3rd down and 3.
One receiver to the left, one receiver to the right for Pickett. And he's going to be hit by Cruz and then finished off by the rest of the line in Lanker and Jenkins. But again, going to be about a half a yard short of the first down.
And we're going to have a water timeout here as that comes at a good time actually for the red team. Now they can talk about what they're going to do here on this fourth down.
And we'll be back as we'll take a look at our third Hall of Fame inductee of the night. And when we come back in a moment here on Albany TV. So again, those will be our three Hall of Fame inductees that'll be getting inducted here during halftime tonight. Again, it's for the Hall of Fame induction tonight. Again, it is Chris Healy, both as a coach and player for Worth County, and Brian Slaughter from Fairfax. And again, we've been inducting players and coaches since 2015. This is the first time tonight that we will have a player inducted both as a coach and as a player. And you saw the stats from Chris Healy. A really good player. I believe 45-2 was his record. And then as a coach, also state championship and a state runner-up, 62-29 overall as a coach for Coach Healy up at Worth County.
Yeah, anytime somebody gets inducted into a Hall of Fame multiple times, you know they are a legend in whatever thing they're being inducted in, and that's exactly what Coach Healy is.
So a 4th and goal. Houseman gets the handoff, takes it up the middle, breaks a tackle, and can't quite get out of the second one as he takes it down to the 35-yard line. There in on the stop was Ryan Langton of Plattsburgh.
Well, another nice job there by Houseman of the red team. Anytime it's 3rd and short or 4th and short, he's probably going to get the ball a fair bit of the time, maybe 90% of the time, just because he's gonna get at least a yard just about every time he touches the ball, and there he gets much more than a yard.
4.5 a yard ends up in 10 yards and a first down. So 1st and 10 here for the red team from the blue team 35-yard line. Pickett will take the snap. Here comes pressure. Again, evades a tackler. He's going to make it to the outside, gets a block, and Pickett from Greenfield has the touchdown for the red team to tie the game at 12 apiece.
Really good run there by Pickett and a really good block down the field. Held it just long enough for him to get around the edge and get into the end zone there. Huge play by the red team to tie this game back up at 12.
I believe it was Boyd, his teammate from Greenfield, that came up with the block downfield. So a 12-12 tie. Just underneath 5 minutes, 4:52 left to play here in the second quarter.
Pickett did a nice job on that drive, just to utilize his legs and his running ability to keep the chains moving in there. Makes a huge play to get him on tied this game up.
Now Klein in at quarterback. Underneath center, takes it, trying to push forward, gets in. 2-point conversion is good as Albany's Chase Klein comes in, gets the 2-point conversion, and it is a 14-12 lead here for the red team, their first lead of the game. We'll be back with more when we come back in a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again to Spratt Memorial Stadium here at Missouri Western State University. in St. Joseph. The red team has taken their first lead of the game. They lead 14-12, 4:52 left in the second. Corbin Jacob, the only quarterback listed for the blue team, still in at quarterback. Ick and Emerson will go to the left. Dante Bingham will be the wingback to the right. Emerson in motion. He's going to get the little flip, and he's going to break it to the outside, and you're going to see some speed from Emerson as he's pushed out of bounds that time, just shy of the 30-yard line. It was Luke Miller from DeKalb and Jacob Winkelbauer from Bishop LeBlanc that were able to push him out of bounds. There was a lot of green grass in front of him.
Yeah, I was going to say, since that first play, Emerson's been pretty quiet, and I expect the blue team to try and get back to him as they now trail for the first time in this game. His big playmaking ability has been talked about at length. Everyone knows about it.
This time it'll be Bingham behind his quarterback, Jacob. Here comes some pressure. Jacob escapes one tackle, can't escape another. He does, though, gets the pass out to Bingham, and he gets out of a tackle. He's still on his feet. And Bingham, up the middle, takes it down inside the 15-yard line. A horse collar tackle from behind as he was finally taken down. There on the stop was Gavin Boyle from Plattsburgh. But man, oh man, some shiftiness here by this blue team.
Yeah, Corbin Jacob, I mean, he made that play. He was able to avoid some tacklers, then as he was going down, flip it out. And what a great effort there, and it's going to be some added yards here on the horse collar tackle. So huge play by the blue team, and that's just the thing they needed as they try to reclaim the lead here as they trail by 2.
He had taken it down to the 11. The horse collar tackle is going to put it just shy of the 5-yard line. Be a first and goal here for the blue team as they try to reclaim the lead here for the third time tonight. Jacob sees pressure, rolls out, looks, finds Bingham again. Just shy of the end zone, falls forward, gets in, touchdown, Blue All-Stars.
Wow, that drive was just all about second effort and grit there as
Jacob and Bingham both.
Neither one of them wanted to go down very easy, and they were fighting for the extra yards, trying to make something out of it, and it gets them the lead, or gets them in the end zone, and they quickly retake the lead here in the All-Star game.
Two players that probably never graced the field at the same time throughout their high school careers, maybe not even any sport. Corbin Jacob from Rockport and Dante Bingham from Plattsburgh have a pretty good relationship here so far in this game. So it's now an 18-14 blue team lead with 3:58 left here in the second quarter. And blue team trying to make it again a touchdown lead. The left-handed quarterback Jacob will take the snap. Rolls out, rolls back, looking back, finds his man in the end zone. Got thrown out, though. I don't know. They're going to call that not. I thought he caught that inside the 10-yard line, which would have been the end zone. It was Tyler Kaufman from Princeton that caught it. But it's going to be two-point conversion failed down to the 1-yard line as Kaufman comes up with his first catch here of the night, but it'll still be a failed two-point conversion attempt. 18-14, though. Blue team with the lead. We're back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium in St. Joseph. 18-14, blue team with the lead, 3:58 left to play here in the first half. Red team looking. They find Brandon Terrell Jr. from Slater. He's got some room down the outside. He's going to be taken down just past midfield, down to the blue team 39. Off the pass that time from Austin Pickett from Greenfield.
It's a nice job there by Brandon Terrell to Nice little juke move there to get to the outside and a stiff arm to fight for those extra yards. Big play there for the red team here on the first play of this drive.
Houseman to the right of his quarterback. Fakes the handoff, and again, looking, gonna run it. Trying to evade a tackler. Escapes one, can't escape the other. That time is Pickett, as he's taken down just shy of the 30-yard line. And there on the stop that time for the Blue All-Stars was Kane Durr from Mound City. As he'll take that one down to the 31. Be a gain of 8. And a timeout is going to be called here by the Red All-Stars. That is their second timeout. They'll have one timeout remaining. 3:12 left to play here in the second quarter. We're back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. Welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium. Looking deep towards the end zone. They find him. And it was a pass that time from Austin Pickett to the end zone. Finds his man. It was Gavin Boyle from Plattsburgh. And it is, again, a Red All-Star lead here at 20-18. With 3:05 left, it just took 3 plays for the Red All-Stars to make that one down the field and reclaim the lead here 20-18. 2-point conversion upcoming.
Yeah, we were looking through some old scores of this All-Star game in years past, and it usually kind of takes a little bit of a lower scoring game. And this one here we might be in for one of the higher scoring games we've seen in recent years.
Last year, 28-14 was the final. The year before, 22-20. And that time, Pickett is going to be taken down in the backfield. 2-point conversion will fail, as it is Justin Miller that was in on the stop that time for the Blue All-Stars. And it stays at a 20-18 lead with 3:05 left. We're back with more in just a moment here on Albany TV. Blue All-Stars are going to take a quick timeout coming out of the break there after the kickoff. And we're going to keep it right here as the Blue All-Stars trail here 20-18 with 3:05 left. And it was the Blue All-Stars that took a quick lead on a 65-yard touchdown pass to lead off the game from Corbin Jacob to Kyle Emerson. Red team threw an interception. Blue team got it back, turned the ball over on downs. Red team was able to come back, put up some points. 2-point conversion failed. It was a 6-6 score, and then it's kind of been back and forth. But the red team was able to get a 2-point conversion, and off of a quarterback keeper from Chase Klein, that is the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, it really seems like we've kind of entered into tit-for-tat phase of this game. Both teams kind of going back and forth here in this one. Be interesting to see if the blue team can get a late score here before halftime, or if they leave too much time on the clock, and see if Red can respond with one of their own.
Emerson in motion, gets the flip, has a blocker in front. Penalty flag flies in the backfield as Emerson just shy of the first down yard marker by about 3 yards. As Luke Miller on the tackle that time. But we'll see what the penalty flag is in the backfield. More than likely it will be against the blue team. It's going to be a hold against the offense, and the red team is going to push him back. So the holding penalty will push them back. Look like that occurred at the 13-yard line, so this is going to bring them well back to, I believe, their own 8. So it'll be a 1st and 17 upcoming here for the Blue All-Stars. Time continues to tick down, 2:40 left to play here in the opening half. Again, we'll have the induction of our Hall of Fame inductees during halftime. Corbin Jacob takes the snap, sees some pressure, rolling, trying to get the ball rid of the ball, does, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for Trey Ike.
Yeah, Jacob got rid of that one really, really late, and it was just kind of like a flip, and you got to be careful with that. Sometimes if the referee doesn't have the correct viewpoint with no more of a throwing motion than he had right there, that could look like a fumble, but it was ruled an incomplete pass, which that's what it was.
And again, the weird thing is that you keep seeing Corbin Jacob rolling out to his right as a left-handed quarterback. Usually you would see him roll out to his left, so having to try and throw across his body as well. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Jacob looking deep, has some pressure. Throwing down the middle for Trey Ike, and he tried to one-hand it. It falls incomplete. There on the coverage, that time was Jeff Rohde from Orick.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Ike would have been able to haul that one in there, but he literally just put one hand out there and tried to one-hand grab that and not able to pull it in, as 2 all-stars from the red team are there to hit him as the throw came in, and it's going to be a 3rd down and long here for the blue team.
Yeah, it was Garver as well as Rohde that were both there. Kyle Emerson back in here for the Blue All-Stars on a 3rd and 17 at their own 8-yard line for the blue team. And play was called dead prior to the snap. And we've got a pre-snap penalty here against the blue team. Is going to push them back even more.
The penalties have been kind of the theme here for the blue team on this drive, and they're going to really need to pull something out of their bag. But Jacob's got to be careful. He can't scramble around too much here. He's back in the shadows of his own goalpost. He cannot give up a safety.
Remember, that was kind of what we saw the last time we were here at Spratt Memorial Stadium. Archie had some uncharacteristic penalties early in that ballgame. Trey, it comes down with a jump ball, and right in front of Jalen Knox from Slater. And that is going to be enough for a 1st down inside the 35-yard line down to the 37.
Yeah, nice job there by Trey Ike, and it was a good play call by the coaching staff from the blue team. You need something on 3rd down. You got to go to one of your best players. Ike is committed to play at the next level, so obviously very talented, and he showcased some of that talent right there.
And he'll be staying right here in St. Joseph, and he'll be playing on this field on Saturday afternoons as he is going to attend Missouri Western State University to play football. Jacob going to keep this one himself, trying to reach out for the end zone. He's going to be hit just shy of the 32-yard line down at the 32. Penalty flag down, as I believe it was Rohde that came in on the hit. And I believe he is going to be penalized on that hit. And they're going to say penalty for leading with the crown of his helmet.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like here, and we've seen a few personal fouls here in this one, and potentially could just be chalked up to you don't play football for so long, you just kind of lose those fundamentals that have been ingrained in you for so long. You don't use them after a while, and it's hard to get all that back in just one game and with a few practices.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the red team's 17 as the blue team trails here by 2 with 1:18 left here in the half. Handoff goes to Bingham. Still on his feet, finally pulled down just shy of the 10-yard line. There on the stop was Jared Raymond from Wellington Napoleon. Gain of 6 puts it down at the 11-yard line.
$50 seconds left here. The blue team's done a nice job of clock management here.
They still do have 2 timeouts remaining, so no reason to rush.
They just need to finish the job here and get in the end zone, and it had been very well executed drive here, not giving the red team much time at all.
Jacob looks, finds Emerson as he has to jump up to grab it. He's taken down there on the stop. Luke Miller finished off by Cole Wiles.
Yeah, we're going to see a timeout here by the blue team. There's 27 seconds left here. You don't want to leave yourself no time. So they're going to try and come up with a good play here on 3rd down to either get them a first down or get in the end zone here as we are just in the closing moments of the first half.
Yeah, it'll be a 3rd and 2 facing the Blue All-Stars with 27.1 left here in the opening half. Again, we'll have 2 chances at it because they will go for it on 4th down, especially on this part of the field. But again, it's a 20-18 lead here for the Red All-Stars over the Blue All-Stars here in the Missouri 8-Man Coaches Football Association All-Star Game at Spratt Memorial Stadium here, the home of the Missouri Western State University Griffins. Also home to your Kansas City Chiefs training camp.
There after the end of the play, Plattsburgh's Dante Bingham was a little bit slow to get up. He's walked off the field, and now he sat on the sideline. Looks like a little bit of
could be some cramping issues with the heat tonight.
I was going to say maybe a little bit of cramping here. He was able to walk off the field, so nothing serious, but he's made a mark on this game, and he's not going to be on the field here probably for the rest of the half since there's just 27 seconds left.
82 degrees, feels like 83, probably closer to about 93 on that turf field. In motion will be Emerson. Jacob with the snap, fakes the handoff to Emerson, looking. He's going to keep it himself, looking for Emerson, throw a little behind him, is going to fall incomplete. It might have been close to an illegal forward pass if Emerson would have brought it in.
Well, it was kind of a doubly dangerous situation there, not only for that, but it was behind Emerson, and he kind of tipped it up, and I thought maybe an interception might have happened there, but it falls harmlessly to the ground, and the blue team takes a sigh of relief as they come out on the field for 4th down. They don't want to waste this opportunity here and go into halftime trailing.
Yeah, Jalen Knox, who's committed to play at Graceland next year for football, almost came away with that interception. Jacob again on 4th down. Jump throw, pass, incomplete. Ike had it and it bounced out of his hands. Again, there on the coverage was Colton Garver from Osceola. It's a turnover on downs.
Well, it was a great defensive stand by Team Red there to keep the blue team out of the end zone. They don't have a lot of time to mount a drive of their own, but they did a nice job there. Barring a late mistake, they will go into the halftime break with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, 2-point lead, 14.9 left here in the half. And again, I believe the Red All-Stars will have I take that back. The Red All-Stars will also have the football to start out the second half, as well as they won the opening coin toss and elected to defer, which gave the Blue All-Stars a quick lead off the pass from Corbin Jacob to Kyle Emerson on the first play of the game.
Chase Klein back out on the field at quarterback.
One receiver right, one receiver to the left. Drop, snap, picked up. Klein looking deep, finds his man, incomplete. It was thrown a little too far to Brandon Terrell inside. It brought Ryland Langton from Plattsburgh into the play, and it falls incomplete with 8.7 left.
Well, it was a botched snap there. Klein didn't bring it in cleanly, and so that kind of sped up the process a little bit. Was still able to get the throw off, but did get hit as he threw, and that caused the underthrow there. But still 8.7 seconds left. Probably take another shot here, see if they can get to midfield with a couple of seconds left and take one more shot at the end zone.
Both teams with one timeout remaining. Again, Brandon Terrell Jr. to the right, to the left is Gavin Boyle from Slater, and again, pass to Terrell Jr. is going to fall incomplete.
Well, they had some quick pressure there to Klein as they tried to set up what looked like to be a screen pass, and the pressure got to Klein, caused that throw to be offline. 5.6 seconds left now. Probably going to have to get it all here on this one play if they decide they want to try and take another shot at the end zone and score before halftime. They say the average football play is around 6 seconds, so if that holds here, they just have time for one more play, especially because it's 3rd and 10.
Terrell Jr. out wide to the right, Boyle wide to the left. Klein, low snap, Hausman in at running back with him. Boyle caught it on his knee at the 20-yard line. A gain of 1, 2.2 left as the red team will take their final timeout. So a gain of 1 to the 10-yard line. Sorry, I think I said the 20, but it is the 10-yard line. Final timeout taken by the Red All-Stars. We'll be back in just a moment here on Albany TV. Red team leads here 20-18. 2.2 left here in the opening half of play. Red team with the football here on a 4th and 9 from their own 10-yard line. Really doesn't come into effect here.
Yeah, they used that last time out, so they're going to try and do something here on 4th down, or they would have just let the clock wind down. Let's see what they got cooked up.
Back deep defensively is Owen DeRozier for East Atchison. It's going to be a flip out to Hausman on the far sideline. Bounces back inside. Stays on his feet. Still on his feet. Loses it. Picked up, though, here by Zachary Boyd from Greenfield, but it went forward. And they're going to call Hausman down at the 31-yard line of the blue team, and that is going to end the first half.
Well, Hausman tried something spectacular there, but just could not quite finish out the play. Nice effort by the red team, but nonetheless, they're going to go into halftime with a 2-point lead.
So it is a 20-18 lead here for the Blue All-Stars. We'll go over some of the stats from the first half as well as have your Hall of Fame induction here from Missouri Western State University when we come back in just a moment. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium here at Missouri Western State University. We will try and let you hear what is being said out on the PA.
in securing state championships in 1998, 2000, and 2001. Dynamic athlete and a two-time All-State quarterback, Healy counts for 3,108 yards and 53 touchdowns, and also ran for 1,329 yards and 30 touchdowns over his career. Equally impressive on the defensive side of the ball, Healy earned All-State honors twice as a defensive back. In 2001 alone, he recorded an incredible 19 interceptions, finishing his high school career with a total of 29. Following his high school success, Healy continued his football career at Northwest Missouri State University. Ladies and gentlemen, 3-man Coaches Association Hall of Fame player, Chris Healy. Brian Slaughter is a 1995 graduate of Fairfax High School and an outstanding student athlete at Fairfax. He was All-State in football, basketball, and track, and was valedictorian of his class. After high school, Brian continued his athletic career playing basketball at William Jewell College. He obtained a postgraduate degree from Kansas University. Brian currently works as a research scientist in the Kansas City area. He's a tremendous asset to his place of work, community, church, and his family. Brian would like to thank his teammates from the undefeated state champion 1994 Fairfax team. One of those teammates, Tony Sly, preceded Brian in the 8-man Player Hall of Fame. Brian played tailback and linebacker on that outstanding team. He'd also like to thank his parents, Bill and Susan Slaughter, and his sister Amy for their support. He is currently supported by his wife Becky and his two daughters, Grace and Olivia. Brian is also accompanied by his high school football coach, Jim Skillen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame inductee, Brian Slaughter. The 8-Man Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame coach, Chris Healy, made a lasting impact on Worth County football, serving as head coach from 2013 to 2020. During that tenure, he compiled an impressive 62-29 record and was named the 8-Man Coaches Association Coach of the Year in 2017. Under his leadership, the Tigers captured the 8-Man State Championship in 2017, finished as state runners-up in 2018, and earned 4 district titles along with multiple semifinal appearances. Before taking the helm, Healy served as an assistant coach from 2005 to 2012, playing a key role in 2 state championship teams and 2 state runners-up finishes. Beyond the sidelines, he's a dedicated leader in the Missouri 8-Man football community. He served as vice president of the 8-Man Coaches Association from 2013 to 2018, and as president from 2018 to 2020, helping to shape and grow the sport across the state. Your Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame coach, inductee, Chris Healy.
Welcome back out again. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats from the first half passing tonight. Austin Pickett, 2 for 2 passing, 57 yards and a touchdown. Chase Klein, 3 for 5 passing for 53 yards. Jalen Knox, 0 for 1 passing here in the first half of the Red All-Stars. Rushing tonight, Austin Pickett, 7 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Houseman, 4 carries for 29 yards. Chase Klein, 7 carries for 14 yards and a touchdown. Leading receivers for the Red All-Stars, Brandon Terrell Jr., 2 catches, 39 yards. Peyton Houseman, 1 catch, 39 yards. Gavin Boyle, 2 catches for 32 yards. Leading the way defensively in tackles is Jared Raymond for the Red All-Stars, followed by Luke Miller, and then Cole Wiles, Isaiah Kohlers, Gavin Boyle, Austin Pickett, Colton Garver, and Gannon Moore. For the Blue All-Stars, passing tonight, Corbin Jacob, 12 for 16 for 241 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing tonight, Kyle Emerson, 1 carry for 14 yards. Dante Bingham, 3 carries for 5 yards. Corbin Jacob, 5 carries for a total of -4 yards, but a touchdown. Receiving tonight, Dante Bingham, 4 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Emerson, 2 catches, 67 yards and a touchdown. And Trey Ick, 4 catches for 65 yards. Preston Jenkins, 1 catch for 9 yards. Leading defensively tonight, Preston Jenkins, Ryan Langston, Kane Durr, and Jackson Cruz all leading the way in tackles. Landon Lanker and Justin Miller right behind. Also a sack in the ball game for Justin Miller. Right now it sits as a 20-18 lead here for the Blue All-Stars. 2018 lead for the Red All-Stars over the Blue All-Stars. Red All-Stars, 20 carries for 108 yards in the first half, 5 completions for 110 yards passing, and then a big stat, 1 for 4 on third down conversions, but 3 for 3 on fourth down conversions for the Red All-Stars there in that first half. For the Blue All-Stars, 11 first downs, 9 carries for 15 yards, 11 for 19 through the air for 239 yards. The big one for the Blue All-Stars, 3 for 7 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down, but 8 penalties for 70 yards from the Blue All-Stars there in that first half, as we're seeing a little bit of rust here for these teams in this ball game early.
Yeah, definitely. Rust is definitely a factor, and a lot of personal fouls with people, players on both teams just kind of doing things they wouldn't normally do if they were kind of in the flow of a full season. There's definitely things that the teams could talk about at halftime, things they could clean up to try and finish out this game with a win. Obviously, for the red team, the interception sticks out. Klein trying to hit Zachary Boyd deep down the field, the big 6'8" target down there. They've tried to hit a couple of times but have yet to hook up on a pass yet. And then for the blue team, it's the penalties that they just really need to clean up. They've done a lot of damage through the air, and they just got to clean up those penalties, and they'll be looking good here going forward in the second half. It's a close game so far. In the time that we've been coming here, the rosters have been very even, and we've had some really good close games. 2023, when we came down here, was a great game. We'll see if we're in store for another game like that. But it's been a great game so far. The teams are wrapping up halftime. We'll see what we're in store for here in the second half.
And again, we want to give congratulations to the 3 inductees tonight: Chris Healy as a coach and as a player, and then Brian Slaughter as a player as well. Let's go ahead and give you all of the Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame inductees. In 2015, Chuck Borey from Worth County was inducted as a coach. 2016 was Mike Buckler from South Holt. No coach was inducted in 2017. 2018, it was Mark Jewell from St. Joseph Christian. 2019 was Dan Collins from Stanberry. 2020 was Vernon Pike from DeKalb. 2021, Jim Schultz from North Andrew. 2022, Brian Messer from Mound City. No coach was inducted in 2023. 2024, Terry Peterson from South Holt. And again, 2025, Chris Healy from Worth County. For the players inducted in 2015, it was Jared Findley from Worth County. 2016, Tony Sly from Fairfax. No player inducted in 2017. 2018 was Tim Seibert of North Andrew. No player inducted in 2019. 2020, it was Ryan Hackett of West Nottoway. 2021, Macon Allen from King City. 2022, Daniel Carpenter from Hardin Central. 2023, Lucas Schwang from Mound City. 2023, Eli Mullock from Worth County. 2024 with Jonathan Schoonover from Mound City. 2025, Chris Healy from Worth County, and 2025 Brian Slaughter from Fairfax. Again, those are your Missouri 8-Man Coaches Football Association Hall of Fame members dating back to 2015 for both the coaches and players. And again, just one has been inducted both as a coach and a player, and that was Chris Healy tonight from Worth County. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors, especially Eye Candy Graphics Arts and Industrial Placards, our 2025 corporate sponsor, and Mosaic Life Care, proud supporter of 8-Man football, and also supplying the trainers for the All-Star festivities this week here at Missouri Western. We'll be back with the second half when we come back in just a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again to the Missouri 8-Man Coaches Football Association 17th Annual All-Star Game here from Missouri Western State University at Spratt Memorial Stadium. The red team will have the ball to start out the second half of play. And again, it's still Andrew Wiles that'll be doing the snapping on the line with him. Seth Miller along with Terry Ogden of Knox County. At tight end is Zachary Boyd from Greenfield. And then it's Terrell Jr. and Boyle out wide right. In the backfield is going to be Jeff Rohde from Orick. And the quarterback is Chase Klein. So the red team will start on their own 15-yard line, leading 20-18. Rohde will get the handoff. And he's going to plow forward for a gain of 1 on the play. There on the stop that time for the blue team is Joe Heater from Wellington Napoleon.
Well, it's always nice when you come out of the halftime break with the ball and the lead. They get the ball to Jeff Rohde there to start things off. Not much doing for him as it's a marginal gain there on first down.
Yeah, gain of 1. Brings up a 2nd and 9 here for the Red All-Stars. 2 receivers again out wide to the right. Low snap decline. Looking deep down the middle and just underthrown, intended that time for Gavin Boyle, and knocking it away was Trey Ike, I believe, from Bishop LeBlond, and it was.
Man, Klein had Boyle there open down the field, but it was a low snap, and it just kind of throws off the timing of everything. The pressure got there. And with the pressure in his face, he just couldn't get it far enough down the field, and Ike was able to get a hand on it, knock that one down. Otherwise, it might have been a touchdown.
So that's usually a throw. Klein is used to throwing. Just throw it up deep and let your runner go underneath it. That's what he usually did for Emerson. This time it was Ike that was able to knock it away from Boyle, as Klein again throwing underneath. Pressure overthrows, incomplete, as Joe Heater was just a little too deep. Otherwise, he was going to come away with the second interception from Chase Klein today.
Yeah, Klein just a little bit off target in this one. And, again, you just chalk that up to not playing for a while. But the blue team also did a nice job of getting pressure on him, too. So a little bit of multiple factors at play there. Blue team did a nice job of making him uncomfortable. But also, again, it's been several months since Klein has played along with the rest of these guys.
It's a 4th down, and punting it away is going to be Rohde. And Ike will catch it at his own 25-yard line. That is where the blue team will start.
Well, nice job there by the blue team to come out of the halftime break, force a 3-and-out of Team Red, and now they have a chance to reclaim the lead here as they trail 20-18. Still 11 minutes and 9 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and again, it's actually they're going to give them the 26-yard line, so the blue team will start over on their own 26, scored on the first play of the first half that they took offensively. Let's see if they can do the same thing here to start out the second half as they trail by 20-18. And just 51 seconds gone here in this opening quarter of the second half. Waiting for Jeff Rohde to get in defensively. Kaufman looking pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. It was Jared Raymond from Wellington Napoleon that knocked it down and brings up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Raymond there. He timed up the throw perfectly from Corbin Jacob. Just as he went into his motion, Raymond jumped up and got hands on that one. Nice effort there to try and intercept it, but just too far out of the reach, but still a good play nonetheless.
So a 2nd and 10 here now for the Blue All-Stars. And again, doing the snapping here for the Blue All-Stars is Asen Akers. I take that back, Asen Akers to the left of the center. Tucker Greer from Orick. And to his right is Landon Wiederold as a quick timeout called by the blue team. Here to start out the second half.
Yeah, play clock was winding down, and blue team was just running out of time, had to burn a timeout there, and it's not a time where you want to burn a timeout here. Just still under a minute has passed here in the first half, and the blue team has to burn a timeout, which, depending on how this second half goes, that may come back to bite them. It may be a close game, and they're going to be wanting those timeouts later in the game.
So a 2nd and 10 from their own 26-yard line here for the blue team. So we gave you the offensive line there. It's Preston Jenkins that is playing tight end for the Blue All-Stars. Actually, he's going to play at wingback as Emerson and Ike to the left of his quarterback. Emerson in motion. Jacob going to be upended after a short 1-yard pickup. There on the stop that time is Luke Miller from DeKalb. So gain of 1 puts it at a 3rd and 9 from their own 27-yard line. We saw the Red All-Stars have to punt it away on their first drive here in the second half of play. And right now the blue team threatening to do the same. There's a lot of offense to start the first half. Defense is coming out here on fire here to start out the second. Corbin Jacob alone in the backfield. Looking. He's going to take off with it. Has some room. And he is going to be upended across the 35-yard line. And it's going to be close. Maybe it's going to depend on the spot. And it is going to be just enough for a first down by Corbin Jacob.
Well, Corbin Jacobs really showed his running prowess here in this game. He's just been really hard to track down for the defense and then bring him down for the tackle. And he showcased that again there on that last play.
20-18, Red All-Stars lead the Blue All-Stars. Just underneath 10 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Corbin Jacob to take the snap. Preston Jenkins in at wingback. Jacob, little flip to Jenkins. And Jenkins will bring this one across the 30 down to the 27-yard line. As again, it was Miller along with Garver on the stop.
The blue team has really utilized that play many times, or at least a variation of that play several times here in this game, where they snap the ball to Jacob, he rolls out, and then just kind of a flip pass ahead of him to a receiver, and they did it again there on that last play and moved the chains for another first down.
So Preston Jenkins has 2 of those so far tonight. Again, 2 receivers to the left are going to be Trey Ike and Kyle Emerson. Jacob going to keep this one himself on the read option, and he's going to be taken down at the 25-yard line. There on the stop was Jeff Rohde from Orick. It's a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Brings up now a 2nd and 7 for the Blue All-Stars with 9:10 left here in the third quarter. Jacob looks over the defense, takes the snap. Handoff goes this time to Kane Durr from Mound City, and he's going to be taken back for a loss of a couple on the play. A loss of 4, as again it's Miller from DeKalb on the stop.
Great play by Miller there to blow that play up and push the play backwards, as now the blue team face a 3rd down and about 12, and they're going to need to pick up at least around half of this. They'll go for it on 4th down if they get that, but you can't be driven back farther. You got to get some yards here.
Jacob looking to pass on 3rd and 11. Jacob still with the football in the backfield, finally takes off, and he's going to get down to about the 22-yard line. And a late penalty flag flies in as well. As in on the stop that time was Jacob Winkelbauer from Bishop LeBlond. And we'll see what the penalty is here. Again, it was a late penalty. And 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties will offset.
Yeah, we saw a late shove there from the blue team, and with the offsetting personal foul penalties, we didn't quite see what the red team did, but something obviously happened that resulted in the shove, and that's not, you don't want to see that, especially in any game, but especially a game like this where it's just kind of you're just out there to have some fun here one last time on the football field. It's just going to be a false start from the blue team.
And it's a 4th and 5. Is going to push him back a little bit more now.
Yeah, not a time to get a false start penalty here. It was already 4th and 5. Now going to be 4th and 10. Just makes it a little bit harder here for the blue team, as again they're trying to reclaim the lead here as we have 7 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the third quarter.
So a 4th and 10 here for the blue team. Again, they had quite a few penalties in the first half, racking up a few more here on their first drive of the second half. Preston Jenkins, wing back to left, 2 receivers to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Jacob looking deep, and the pass for Trey Ike is going to be too low, incomplete, and it will be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, Corbin Jacob, he had Ike open there over the middle of the field, but
just underthrew him.
Yeah, pressure must have got to him or something, because, yeah, it was just an underthrow. Not sure if he felt the pressure coming, because I didn't see a hit as the throw came in, but just underthrew him there, and it's going to be a turnover on downs, and the red team will take over with a chance to extend this lead.
7:03 left to play here in the third quarter. 20-18, red team with the lead and the football. Klein again comes back out to quarterback the Red All-Stars. Peyton Houseman with him in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. Wiles' snap is a little low. Houseman flips this one back for Jalen Knox from Slater. Throws deep and try to go for a little swing pass out to his quarterback, Chase Klein, and it's going to be thrown a little too far out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like a little not exactly, but it looked to be modeled after kind of the Philly special play that the Eagles did in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, where Nick Foles goes out for a pass, and that's what Klein did right there. But two guys on him, and the throw was offline there. Did not quite work out the way the red team drew it up.
And by the way, if you had Nick Foles on your bingo card tonight, congratulations to you.
Yeah, had to reach deep in the bag for that one.
So a 2nd and 10 upcoming here for the Red All-Stars from their own 27-yard line. Snap decline. Looks deep, rolls out. Still looking downfield, falls as he throws, and DeRozier catches it, but is he in bounds? If he does, that's his second, and DeRozier, his second interception of Chase Klein here tonight at the 24-yard line of the blue team.
Wow, a heck of a play there by DeRozier, and all he needs 1 foot in. Obviously, we're kind of high up here, impossible for us to tell, but the referee says that he got a foot in bounds there, and DeRozier having a heck of a game here on defense. And that's going to be the type of play you look back at the end of the game, especially if the blue team comes out with a victory. Those 2 interceptions of Chase Klein by DeRozier were massive.
20-18, though, the red team still leads, still looking for our first score here of the second half. Xavier Middleton for Platte Valley checks in late here for the blue team. Jacob will take the snap. Looking for that little flip pass again. This time loses it out of bounds, as he'll lose about 2 yards on the play. I'm going to say a loss of a yard down to the 26. Brings up a 2nd and long 11.
Well, there you saw again what you were kind of talking about earlier in the game. Corbin Jacob rolling out to his right. He has to kind of rotate his body to get anything behind to throw, and he just didn't have the space to do it right there, and jars the ball loose, and they lose a yard.
2 receivers to the left, Ike and Emerson. Looking for Emerson. Has the football at the 30, and he's got some space. Emerson is gone. As Kyle Emerson, his second receiving touchdown of the night, coming from Trey Ike, and he's going to do the gritty.
Yeah, it's not something that you would see in a regular season game, but here in the All-Star game, referees a little bit more lax, letting the players have a little bit more fun there, and rightfully so. Nice play there by Kyle Emerson. He gets his second touchdown reception of the game, and it gives the blue team the lead back.
And the biggest thing with Emerson isn't just necessarily his speed, it's his ability to just accelerate on the drop of a dime.
Yeah, exactly.
He got away from his defender, had a small little hole to break through, got through, and then was just gone.
Yeah, so many guys, they need a window of time to build up the top speed, and it doesn't really seem like Emerson needs that at all. The minute he starts running, he's at top speed immediately.
Jacob looking for Ike in the end zone, and the pass is incomplete, and we're going to have a penalty flag. Ike got hit right as the football was coming. No flag was called on that, but a little bit extracurricular after the play, as I believe it was him and Knox. And we'll see what the penalty is going to be. It could be offsetting personal fouls again, because Ike kind of came up and got in the face that time of Knox, and Knox kind of gave him a little bit of a shove. They're going to call it against the blue team on that unsportsmanlike conduct. So we will see where the red team will start with the football this time. Looks like they're going to start on their own 30, usually start on their own 15. So it'll be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So taking the snap is Pickett this time, throwing out, and that one tipped as he was hit, looking for Peyton Houseman as the pass falls incomplete, brings up now a 2nd and 10.
Well, what we've really seen a lot up here in the second half is some really nice sustained pressure by the defensive line of the blue team. And it made Chase Klein uncomfortable. And now on that play, we saw it made Austin Pickett uncomfortable as well. And it's really affecting their ability to stay in the pocket and deliver nice, clean passes to their receivers. So nice job by the defensive front of the blue team.
So again, Pickett in at quarterback will take the snap with Houseman to his left. Handoff to Houseman up the middle. He'll bully his way to gain a couple of yards. On the tackle that time, Landon Lanker. Also on the stop that time was Preston Jenkins.
Gonna have a water timeout here.
And we will take a quick timeout as well. We'll be back with more in just a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium here at Missouri Western State University in St. Joseph. It's a 24-20 lead here for the blue team over the red team here in this third quarter. Red All-Stars with the football, 3rd and 7 upcoming from their own 33-yard line.
Well, the red team finds themselves trailing once again here. So on 3rd down, with that water timeout, they had time to talk things over real quick, how they're going to approach this 3rd down. They don't need to get a ton here, but they do need to get 7 yards here to convert this 3rd down.
So Pickett will take the snap here for the Red All-Stars. Again, pressure from our defensive front from the Blue All-Stars, and Pickett going to be taken down right at about midfield. Justin Miller on the stop. It looks like it will be enough for a 1st down for the Red All-Stars.
Yeah, they're moving the chains. It is going to be a 1st down, but even if it wasn't, there's definitely 4-down territory there for Team Red. But they move the chains here and extend this drive where, once again, they're trying to get that lead back.
So a 1st and 10 from midfield here for the Red All-Stars. Again, Pickett and Houseman in alone in the backfield. Zachary Boyd is going to be tight end to the left. 2 receivers to the right. Low snap. Pickett looking to the right. Finds his man on a little curl route and being wrapped up by 3 or 4 Blue All-Stars that time. As Langton comes away with the catch, it was Gavin Boyle who caught the pass. There's a gain of about 4 on the play to the 36-yard line. And again, Pickett going to keep it himself, and he's going to be taken down there on the stop. Landon Lanker and Preston Jenkins on the stop. as he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Maybe even lost about a half a yard.
Yeah, another nice play there by the defensive front by the blue team. Swallowed that play up before it could go anywhere, and another third down attempt here for Team Red.
3:20 left to play here in this third quarter. It's a 3rd and long 6 from the blue team 36-yard line, and a dead ball penalty here prior to the snap. Or at least a dead ball whistle anyways, I should say. Not necessarily a penalty. Just called the play dead prior to the snap. So it's a 3rd and long 6 still upcoming here for the Red All-Stars. On a beautiful but warm night here in St. Joseph.
Yeah, Red's going to have to burn a timeout here. They got 4 seconds.
Just get it off as Pickett, low snap, able to pick it up off the ground and somehow still able to get about 1.5 yards on that play.
Well, they somehow got that snap off, but it's going to be 4th down here as they don't get enough to convert.
I believe it was Preston Jenkins again from Nottoway Valley on the stop, as now the Red All-Stars will call a timeout. We'll have 2 timeouts remaining with 2:18 left here in this third quarter. 4th and 5 will come them after this timeout. We're back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again here to Spratt Memorial Stadium. A 4th and 5 facing the red team from the blue team 35-yard line. In motion here is Boyle. He's going to take the handoff. Evades tackler, still on his feet, trying to cut it back across field, and he's going to be taken down close to the 15-yard line as Kane Durr from Mound City on the stop. And they're going to mark him down at the 15-yard line, a gain of 20 on a play that could have died in the backfield.
Yeah, we talk about sometimes you don't play. It can be football, it can be basketball, it can be any sport for so long, and your fundamentals kind of go out the window. And we've seen a couple of instances of some poor tackling here in this one, and that was the case there as the blue team had a chance to swallow that play up in the backfield and just couldn't quite do it.
And we're going to have a whistle here by the Blue All-Stars, as I think they're going to take another timeout here with 1:45 left. We're going to be back in just a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again to Spratt Memorial Stadium, home of the Missouri 8-man Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. 1:45 left here in quarter number 3. Blue All-Stars lead 24-20. A 1st and 10 upcoming from the Blue All-Stars 15 for the Red All-Stars as they look to try and retake the lead. Again, it's Austin Pickett in at quarterback here from Greenfield for the Red All-Stars. In the backfield with them, Peyton Houseman from St. Joseph Christian. Houseman will take the snap, and he is going to get hit immediately as soon as he got the handoff, and Trey Ike from Bishop LeBlond on the stop. It'd be a loss of a yard, that time by Houseman.
Well, you don't see that a lot when Houseman has the ball in his hands. And
well, there were about three Blue All-Stars because they've really ramped it up on the defensive front here in this second half, as Houseman was immediately met by three players, had nowhere to go and couldn't plow through anybody.
Yeah, you talk about the battle in the trenches. The blue team has won that one here in this second half.
Pickett looking deep, end zone. Brandon Terrell Jr. from Slater comes away with the touchdown with a minute left here in this third quarter of play from the quarterback, Austin Pickett.
Well, nice job by Terrell. He kind of just found a seam there on that route, and nice throw there by Austin Pickett to hit him right in stride, floats it over the top of the defense, and a nice play design there gives the red team the lead right back with a minute left here in the third quarter exactly.
And they again lead by 2, 26-24. Pickett again will take the snap. Houseman to his left, Terrell Jr. to his right. Pickett is right at the goal line. Did he get in? No, he did not. As there on the stop was Jackson Cruz from Bishop LeBlond. So it is a 2-point lead here for the Red All-Stars, 26-24. We're back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. Twenty-six, 24, Red All-Stars with the lead with a minute left to play here in quarter number 3. Corbin Jacob again will take the snap alone in the backfield, trying to flip it out on a quick little screen pass to Kyle Emerson, and the pass just out of his reach as it falls incomplete. Brings up now a 2nd and 10. As 2.7 burns off the clock on that play. Blue All-Stars. Red All-Stars both having some trouble trying to figure out what's going on here. Blue All-Stars look like they're going to call in the play, but one of the coaches for the Red All-Stars is kind of on the field talking with his defense. 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Jacob rolls out, flip. This time with it is going to be Darwin Bowden from King City, still on his feet as he's finally pushed out of bounds, just shy of the 35-yard line, down to the 34.
That's the first time we've seen Darwin Bowden get a chance to carry the ball, and a nice job there. Catches a shovel pass and some nice yards after the catch as he's forced out of bounds, but not before the blue team picks up a first down at about midfield.
So a 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line now for the Blue All-Stars. Trey Ike, Kyle Emerson to the right. Darwin Bowden in at the wing back to the right. This time staying in to block. Taking off is Corbin Jacob, and he's going to be pulled down just across midfield. There on the stop for the red team is Isaiah Kohlers from Schuyler County.
Under 20 seconds now to go here in the third quarter. Blue team, if they want, can run another play. They're going to have to move a little bit quickly here, or they can just elect to take it to the fourth quarter, which it looks like they might do.
And they're going to go into the fourth quarter trailing 26-24. Corbin Jacob looking for a comeback stat here in this All-Star game. As we go to the fourth quarter of play, 26-24, Red All-Stars with the lead. We're back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out to Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium, home of the Missouri Western State University Griffins and the Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. It'll be a 2nd and 2 for the Blue All-Stars just onto the Red All-Stars side of the field at their own 38-yard line. And that time Corbin Jacob lost the handle on it as he was being tackled by Jared Raymond from Wellington Napoleon. Able to fall back on it, though, but in his own side of the field, back at his own 47-yard line, or 37-yard line, sorry.
Well, Jacob, very fortunate there. The ball kind of just bounced right back up into him. It's not how it always works out. Sometimes the ball takes some funny bounces, and it just completely bounces away from you. But Jacob with a sigh of relief as he's able to keep possession for his team, and they face a 3rd down now.
It's a 3rd and 8 here for the Blue All-Stars, trailing 26-24. Just 45 seconds in here to the fourth quarter of play. And the Blue All-Stars going to take a timeout. And I believe this could be their final timeout here of the half. And we'll be back with more in just a moment here on Albany TV. Blue All-Stars football here, 3rd and 8 from their own 37-yard line. Corbin Jacob flips this one back to Emerson, trying to find a hole. He gets lit up at midfield. As there on the stop was Luke Miller. Or sorry, no, it was Isaiah Kohlers. Penalty flag, though, down in the backfield. Emerson picked up 3 yards, but then immediately hit by Kohlers. But a penalty called as well. I think they called it against the blue team. Uncertain what the call was, though. I think it might have been a hold at the line of scrimmage. So this is going to push them back to their own 27-yard line, which is going to put this now at a 3rd and 18. Jacob looking, finds his man Preston Jenkins at the original line of scrimmage. Has enough for a first down as he's knocked down, but not before he gets the first down. There on the stop was Jeff Rohde from Orick. As Jenkins picks up 20 yards, they needed 18.
Well, Preston Jenkins has made his mark on this game in a few different ways, but mostly in the receiving game. He's came up with a couple of huge plays, and that one was a big one there to extend this drive for the blue team. Again, they trail 26-24, and we're in the fourth quarter. We're getting closer and closer to crunch time here, so they need everything they can get.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line here for the Blue All-Stars. 10:25 left here in the game. Jacob looking, sees pressure, evades the tackler, throws him off. Jacob is going to keep this one himself as he hurdles Luke Miller. He's taken down just shy of the 30 as Isaiah Kohlers is there to touch him down. But a penalty flag down right near about the spot where the tackle was made, but a little bit farther in. We'll see what the penalty flag is, and it's going to be against the Blue All-Stars. I think they're going to call a block in the back. And that is going to negate what would have been a first down from Corbin Jacob.
Well, it was a lot of running around, and so you do see sometimes the longer the play is extended, something like a block in the back can happen as, like I said, the continued running around and the linemen aren't really sure where the ball carrier is, and I believe that's what we saw there as it negates a great play by Jacob and a great hurdle.
Yeah. And they did a great job of throwing off a defender in the backfield as well.
Yeah, that too.
So 1st and 16. Pass out to Trey Ike is going to be over his head, is going to fall incomplete. Tried to go on a little screen pass that time.
Yeah, really no pressure there. I guess it looks like Jacob just kind of tried to rush that a little bit too much and put a little bit too much air on that one as it was just out of the reach of Ike.
Ike 6'2", but probably needed to be about 6'4" to catch that one. 9:37 left to play here in quarter number 4. Red All-Stars lead 26-24. Blue All-Stars with the football, 2nd and 16 on their own 38-yard line. Snap here to Corbin Jacob. Out to Kyle Emerson, has to jump up to catch it. And then is going to be tackled from behind as it crosses the 30-yard line. And there on the stop for the Red All-Stars, a little slow to get up that time, was Jared Raymond from Wellington Napoleon.
Well, Kyle Emerson had a small window there that if he was able to burst through, he was gone. But Raymond able to wrap him up and bring him down. Another third down here for the blue team, 3rd and 6. Raymond still kind of feeling it there, but he's still in the game.
Will be a defensive end here on the right side as Jacob looking. No pressure, and the pass to Darwin Bowden is going to be a little too tall as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was a clean pocket, no pressure there. Corbin Jacob just missed Darwin Bowden on the throw.
And Bowden did have some room to catch it and to possibly turn it upfield as well.
We're talking about how the the quarterbacks from the red team have had some trouble hitting their receivers, and it seems like that's kind of flipped over now, and it's the blue team quarterback Corbin Jacob who's having some trouble hitting his receivers now.
Middleton over to the right. Emerson, Ike to the left. Botch snap here for Jacob, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Coming right off that left edge and coming away with the sack is Jacob Winklebauer.
Now Corbin Jacob getting up a little bit gimpy there, and he's walking off the field. He's the only quarterback listed for the blue team, so we'll see here how that affects him as we move on here in the game. But a big stop there, a turnover on downs, and the red team takes over with 8.5 minutes to go and a 2-point lead.
Turnover on downs. Red All-Stars will take over on their own 33-yard line. Leading by 2.
So a touchdown, a 2-point conversion will make this a 2-possession game.
Klein back in at quarterback here for the Red All-Stars. He'll keep it himself, rushes up the middle, and he'll be taken down. A mixture that time of Avery Miller from North Andrew and Landon Lenker from Concordia. Takes it just shy of the 40 down to the 37-yard line, a gain of 4. Brings up a 2nd and 6 here for the Red All-Stars. Brandon Terrell Jr. will be wide to the right, wide to the left is going to be Gavin Boyle from Plattsburgh. Snap to Klein, looking deep. Boyle catches it in stride, takes it to the end zone. Touchdown, Red All-Stars. Chase Klein to Gavin Boyle.
Well, we were just waiting for one of these big shots that Klein's taken deep down the field to connect, and there it did. And not only does it extend the lead for the red team, but now at this 2-point conversion, they can make it a 2-possession game here with a 10-point lead.
7:39 left here in this fourth quarter. 32-24. Red All-Stars lead by 8, trying to make this a 2-possession ball game. Houseman to the left of his quarterback, Klein. Klein directing traffic. Takes the snap. Looking. Finds his man for the touchdown. 2-point conversion is good. And catching it that time is Oren Van Skyke from North Shelby. Went a little trickery. Oren Van Skyke, listed as a guard, 6'3", 250 pounds, had a little bit of upset his last time on this field. Now a little bit better as he comes away with the 2-point conversion catch here and makes this a 10-point ball game with 7:39 left here in the ball game as the Red All-Stars take a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, that was a big 2-point conversion there, but obviously still plenty of time left. 7 minutes and 39 seconds left, and the blue team has got a lot of guys who can score quick. Of course, Kyle Emerson, but also Trey Ike. He's a big threat as well, and there are obviously others too. So still plenty of time here for the blue team to mount a comeback.
Jacob moving up in the pocket, still rolling around, and he's going to run out of bounds, and he is going to be tackled again. Jared Raymond, who's been all over the defensive line here for the Red All-Stars, comes away with another tackle as it's a 2-yard pickup here by the Blue All-Stars. So it brings up now a 2nd and 8 here for the Blue All-Stars. They have to hurry up and get this play off. 5 seconds left here on the play clock. No timeouts remaining. Jacob will take it with 1 second left. Throw out to Trey Ike on a screen pass out here to the near side. Gets away from a couple of tacklers, and he is going to be shoved out of bounds across the 30 down to the 33-yard line. Pushing him out of bounds. That time again, guess who? Jared Raymond and Ike's teammate, Jake Winklebauer.
Nice job there by Ike. Nice yards after the catch, but actually it's going to come back as a holding penalty is called on Team Blue. Didn't see the flag come out, but White Hat signals holding on the offense, and this one's going to come back. That's a big mistake there by the blue team, and Mistakes have been one of the themes of this game here. Both teams have made their fair share of them, but that's a big one there for the blue team.
Especially because it comes and it about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. It's going to put them back at their own 9-yard line. Would have been at their own 33. Ends up at their own 9. Thanks to that hold. So a 2nd and 16 for the Blue All-Stars. 2 receivers to the left. Jacob loses it. Still rolling around as Winklebauer almost came away with the loose fumble. Thrown in for Emerson. Goes through his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, Jacob, I'm not sure what jarred the ball loose there. It just seemed like he was a little bit too careless with the ball there. I'm not quite sure that anything really knocked it loose. He just didn't have it.
And then he never went down for it. He's kind of happy, glad that Winklebauer missed, kind of squirted out from under him right to Jacob, picked it up in a throw to Kyle Emerson, cutting across the field, and just goes through his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, he put a lot of mustard on that ball, really zipped it in there to Emerson, and Emerson just couldn't quite get up there and grab it, and it's going to be 3rd down and 16, so Team Blue's going to need a big play here.
Jacob looking deep. And he is going to be hit and wrapped up. Winklebauer is going to sack him for the safety.
I was like that.
It was really close.
Yeah.
I was waiting for them to give the signal whether it was going to be a safety or not.
So 2 more points for the red team and possession of the ball. And if they manage this clock right going forward, that might have been the final nail in the coffin here. But still, 7 minutes to go, a lot of game left, but Team Red's in the driver's seat.
36-24, Red All-Stars with the lead. Back with more in a moment here on Albany TV. .56 left to play here in this 4th quarter. Red All-Stars with the football, leading by 12, 36-24, after Winklebauer's safety of Corbin Jacob. And it'll be Austin Pickett in at quarterback again here for the Red All-Stars on this drive. One of the Red coaches out on the field talking with the officials. I believe it is head coach David Stuckey, who was at North Shelby last year. I think they're going to say because of the safety, they should get the ball a little bit farther up, and they are going to get it. It's going to be at the 30-yard line.
And so now that draws the blue coaches out.
I'm sure Drew Smith from Archie's going to say, come on, really?
Yeah, I mean, that's where they had it spotted.
This gave it 15 yards.
Yeah.
Said Stuckey on the other sidelines giving the safety sign. Remember, these two coaches faced each other here back at the beginning of December.
Yeah, and it's of course it's a fun game, but there's still that competitive aspect to it. You still want to try and win, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that right now.
So the Red All-Stars are going to end up having the football at their own 30-yard line. Coach Smith from Archie made his argument. It didn't quite go the way Coach Stuckey's did.
Well, if you make one change, you can't change it back.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to stick with it.
On the carry is Pickett as he'll take it across the 35-yard line down to the 37 as Avery Miller on the stop that time for the Blue All-Stars.
So with each play, more time ticks off the clock. Now 6.5 minutes to go.
Gavin Boyle will be lined up wide out to the right here on the near sideline. Brandon Terrell Jr. over on the left sideline, wide left. And Pickett going to take this one again. He's got some room, trying to break it to the outside, trying to cut back up the middle, and he's going to be taken down there on the stop. That time is Tyler Kaufman. Or sorry, I take that back. It's Joe Heater from Wellington Napoleon that came up with a stop. It's really difficult when there's two 22s out on the field.
Yeah, the players get to keep their number, so it often leads to a couple of duplicates and makes it a little bit tough.
It's tough on the public address announcers and the play-by-play people.
Especially
so we apologize if we've pronounced anybody's name wrong, missed a tackle, or who made the tackle or catch because of the duplicate number, so we apologize for that. Pickett looking. Can't find anybody. Again, going to take off. Gives a stiff arm. Gets out of a tackle, and then finally taken down. It's Lanker and Preston both on the stop after the 2-yard pickup, or the 1-yard pickup that time from Pickett.
Time continues to tick here. Now just over 5 minutes to go. One thing that is a little bit different about the All-Star games is teams will continue to try and maybe get some stats here, or maybe try and get some guys some carries or whatever who don't normally get to carry the ball. So while they're happy to let the clock run, they're not just going to try and bleed this clock out all the way.
And again, you do have to remember there is scholarships available to the offensive and defensive MVPs tonight as well, which again we'll have at the conclusion of the ball game. We're back with more in just a moment here on Albany TV. And welcome back out again to Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium, Missouri Western State University in St. Joseph for the Missouri 8-Man Coaches Football Association All-Star Game. It's the Red All-Stars leading by 12, 36-24, just underneath 5 minutes left to play here in this fourth quarter. Red All-Stars with the football and driving to really put this game out of reach.
Yeah, touchdown to make it a 3-possession game, and with under 5 minutes to go, that would be a real tall task for the blue team to make up, even with the playmakers they've got.
So Pickett in at quarterback here for the Red All-Stars. He will take the snap here from Albany center, Andrew Wiles. The quarterback from Greenfield rushes up the middle. He's going to be taken down. It's Nottoway Valley's Preston Jenkins that comes away with the tackle after the short 1-yard pickup, that time by Pickett. Brings up now a 3rd and 8 here for the Red All-Stars. 4.5 left here in this final quarter of play. Peyton Houseman, the running back from St. Joseph Christian, will be to the right of his quarterback, Pickett. Pickett going to keep it himself, finds a small hole. He's got enough for a first down, gets into the end zone, touchdown. Austin Pickett from Greenfield puts this one out of reach.
Yeah, Pickett's done a really nice job in this one, and most of his damage has been on the ground. I would say when it's all said and done, he'll be a candidate for the offensive MVP if the red team's able to pull this one out, because he's done a great job here, especially on the run.
15 carries, 119 yards on the ground for 2 touchdowns so far for Austin Pickett from Greenfield. 2-point conversion upcoming. It's a 42-24 lead, can make it a 20-point lead here with the 2-point conversion. Pickett sees some pressure. Rolling, looking to the end zone. Pass incomplete. Again, trying to get it to the big 6'8" tight end, Zachary Boyd from Greenfield. It goes through his hands, incomplete. And we will be back with more when we come back in a moment. 42-24, Red All-Stars with the lead. Blue All-Stars with the football on their own 15. Corbin Jacob looking to pass, finds Trey Ike on a little curl pattern. Has enough for a first down, finally pushed out of bounds by Jeff Rohde from Orick, just shy of the 30-yard line, down to the 29.
Well, the blue team's going to have to move quick here. Really no time to waste, and even if they do things perfectly from here on out, just not quite sure there's going to be enough time on the board to come back in this one. But, of course, they're going to give it their best shot here, and they get a first down on the first play.
Empty backfield here for Jacob. Looking. Again finds Trey Ike on a curl pattern. This time tries to cut it upfield. Breaks out of a couple of tackles. Finally hit from behind inside the 20-yard line. Again, it's Wellington Napoleon's Jared Raymond who comes away with the tackle, as Ike tackled down at the 19-yard line of the Red All-Stars.
Well, we saw it in the last play and then saw it again right there. Ike with a little hesitation move and then kind of bursts out full speed and picks up some extra yards.
Jacob gets out of a tackle, loses the football, and it's going to be recovered here by the red team. Wow. And again, Jared Raymond, who has been all over the field defensively, puts his name in the running for the defensive MVP.
And again, Corbin Jacob, I believe that happened on the last drive, and it definitely happened right there. Just a little bit too careless with the football, nothing really jarring it loose, and he just loses it for the second time.
And recovered at the 24-yard line. And that is where the Red All-Stars, again, will take over here offensively. So a 1st and 10 here for the Red All-Stars. They lead by 18, 42-24, 3:15 left here in this fourth quarter. Pickett will stay in at quarterback here for the Red All-Stars. Wiles quickly on the ball. They're going to get called for a false start, or they're going to get the timeout called first. They will. That will be the final timeout called here by the Red All-Stars. We're back with more in a moment on Albany TV. It'll be Red All-Star football on their own 25-yard line following that final timeout here of the ball game by the Red All-Stars. Blue All-Stars also out of timeouts. 3:15 left here in the ball game. It's an 18-point lead for the Red All-Stars, 42-24. Austin Pickett will take the snap with Peyton Houseman, the big bruising running back, to his left. Houseman takes the handoff. And he'll plow forward through a runner, or through a tackler. It was Trey Ike that got credit for the tackle, but also kind of felt the effects of it too, as Houseman takes it down to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was one of those where Houseman was tackled, but it was a more kind of a just run you over type of tackle, and that's exactly what happened there.
That is Peyton Houseman's favorite type of tackle.
Yeah. That's for sure. We like we said, we just saw him one time this season, but man, we got a real good sense that he's a hard runner, and he showcased it here in this All-Star game.
2:30 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Again, Houseman will take the handoff. Carries a couple of defenders as he's just shy of midfield. Jenkins on the stop along with Kane Durr. As Houseman gets enough for a first down to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, pretty much a done deal at this point. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Red team's going to keep handing it off to Houseman and maybe some other backs, but this one's pretty well out of reach for the blue team.
Now in a running back is Jeff Rohde from Orick. Take the snap with 1 second left on the play clock. Rohde gets the handoff and brings it across midfield down to the 38-yard line as they're in on the stop. Again is Kane Durr. So a 2nd and 7 from the blue team, 38-yard line. 1:15 left here in the ball game. The Red All-Stars lead here 42-24. They are going to win the 17th annual Missouri 8-Man Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. This time Pickett keeps it himself on the read option and just short of the first down yard marker. They might actually give it to him. As it was Joe Heater on the stop that time. And they are going to give him enough for a first down. And they're going to be able to run it out from here. As again, both teams without a timeout remaining. But they are going to run another play here perhaps. And they might just kneel it down here. And they will. That'll be the final play of the game. 42-24, the Red All-Stars are the winners of the 17th annual Missouri 8-Man Coaches Football Association All-Star Game. Congratulations to Coach David Stuckey and North Shelby and his players. We will take a quick timeout. We'll be back for your offensive and defensive MVPs. And welcome back out here to Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium at Missouri Western State University here in St. Joseph. We'll get set for your offensive defensive MVPs.
Offensive MVP winner, that goes to Austin Pickett of the Red All-Stars from Greenfield. This year's defensive MVP and winner of the Dalton Thacker Memorial Scholarship from the Blue All-Stars
So again, you just heard the offensive and defensive scholarship winners. It was Austin Pickett at Greenfield. That was the offensive MVP for the Red All-Stars. And the defensive MVP coming from the Blue All-Stars, Owen DeRozier of East Atchison. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the stats here during our postgame. Passing tonight, Chase Klein goes 5 for 9 passing, 99 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions though. Austin Pickett 4 for 5 offensively, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Knox 0 for 2 passing. Receiving tonight for the Red All-Stars, Gavin Boyle 4 catches, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Terrell Jr. 3 catches, 55 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Houseman 1 catch for 39 yards. Rushing tonight for the Red All-Stars, Austin Pickett led the way, 16 carries, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Peyton Houseman 8 carries, 45 yards. Gavin Boyle 1 carry for 20 yards. Chase Klein 8 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Rohde 2 rushes for 4 yards. For the Blue All-Stars passing tonight, Corbin Jacob 19 for 29 passing for 409 yards and 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Kyle Emerson 4 catches, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. Trey Ike 6 catches, 111 yards. Dante Bingham 4 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown. Preston Jenkins 3 catches for 47 yards. Darwin Bowden 1 catch for 20 yards. Rushing tonight, Kyle Emerson for the Blue All-Stars 1 carry for 14 yards. Dante Bingham 3 carries for 5 yards. Corbin Jacob 16 carries for 4 yards, a touchdown and a fumble. Kane Durr 1 carry for -4 yards. Leading the way defensively for the Red All-Stars, it was Jared Raymond, 7 tackles and a fumble recovery. Luke Miller with 4.5 tackles. Jeff Rohde with 3, 2.5 tackles for Isaiah Kohlers. And then it was 1.5 tackles for Jake Winklebauer and Cole Wiles. 1 tackle for Austin Pickett, Gavin Boyle, and Colton Garver. For the Blue All-Stars, Owen DeRozier had 2 interceptions on the night for the Blue All-Stars. Justin Miller had 2 tackles, but it was Preston Jenkins that led the way tackling with 6. Kane Durr had 4.5 tackles, 3 tackles for Rylan Langston, Landon Lanker, and Jackson Cruz, 2 tackles for Justin Miller and Trey Ike, and also 3 tackles for Joe Heater, 1.5 tackles for Avery Miller. Again, those are completely unofficial stats, but that's what we have down for our offensive and defensive stats on the night. Again, offensive scholarship winner from the Red All-Stars, Austin Pickett of Greenfield. Defensive scholarship winner, Owen DeRozier of East Atchison. 42-24, the Red All-Stars come away with the victory tonight over the Blue All-Stars. Brent, what did you think about this game?
Well, it was another fun one, our 3rd year doing this, and so far all 3 of them have really just been fun events all around. Again, it's a good showcase of the players that have decided to step onto the field for one last time. It was a great back and forth game. The red team were able to kind of pull away there at the end, but throughout it was just kind of a tit for tat. Both teams did some good things, did some bad things, and at the end it was just the red team that was able to pull away there. Austin Pickett obviously comes away with the MVP, but a lot of guys stepped up and contributed. And then on defense, on the blue team, Owen DeRozier, even though his team lost, if they were able to come away with it, his defensive performance would have really stuck out. He intercepted Chase Klein twice, and obviously Chase Klein was one of the top quarterbacks on one of the top teams in the state, in the Albany Warriors. So it was a great game from him. And again, another good event here put on at Spratt Stadium. And again, congratulations to the red team, but of course all the players on great careers, and best wishes to them as they move on to the next chapter of their lives.
Yes, again, that's what really this is all about. There was a note here in the program for tonight. We couldn't do what we do without the players, without the fans of 8-Man football. We appreciate all of the players, all of the fans that tune in, listen to us from week to week, talk about football. And then also just a big thank you to all of the media members that cover Missouri 8-man football. I know I saw a few familiar faces down there, but especially from Missouri 8-man football. We saw Devin Albertson along with Anthony Crane down there. They're covering it tonight as well. So I'm sure they're going to have a lot more on the field information stuff. That's where they were tonight. So make sure to check out Missouri 8-man football on Facebook and Twitter tonight. They'll look like they had some interviews with some players, some interviews with some coaches as well. A big thank you to them because I know they do a lot to help support 8-man football as well as all of the media members across 8-man football. Big thank you to the coaches. Big thank you to Missouri 8-man Football Coaches Association again for having us out here for the third year in a row. Again, for myself, Jared Rolvis, color analyst, cameraman Brett Williams. So long and good night tonight here from Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium in St. Joseph.